to the Morning Blend, and welcome back to the Morning Blend. We're continuing our journey through Mequon and Thiensville. America's interest in gardening is really growing right now. Get it, Tiff? Yep. In fact, get this, a new study says it's more popular than ever before and is not just an older generation, you know, people 50 plus. In fact, almost a third of all gardening households are people age 18 to 34.
Oh, I fit in that age range. Perfect. All right, Emily Gerke.
No, you don't.
Emily Gerke is the owner of FRENZ Garden Center in Thiensville. She's going to share tips and techniques to get your garden growing. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great. And you know what? I wish I was in the garden. Molly and I both garden. We love gardening. I feel like it's something that really is all the rage right now, and it's something that's really people have kind of taken to with being home. Do you find that you've seen more people gardening this year than ever before?
Yes, we see a lot more gardeners, young and old, ever since probably about the third week in March when everything started being shut down. People were coming in for seed supplies, seed starting kits, and heating mats, grow lights, everything, because there was nothing else to do. So they were looking for something to do.
And that's good news. I think, hey, if people are going to be stuck at home, there are few things that are probably as healthy or good for us as gardening. So that's awesome to hear. What I would like to know is, do you feel, because you're an expert, that there's sort of like a proper way to do it? Are there techniques that are just right for gardening?
The first thing you really need is good soil, because the roots are in the soil, and that's where the plant is going to get all its food and energy and water supplies from. So the first thing you really need is good gardening soil. And after that, it's food, fertilizer, the right sun in the right plant, the right place. If it's a hosta, it needs shade. If it's something like a portulaca or lantana, they need sun. So you need to know where your plant has to be planted.
I don't even know what the second half of those were, but I bet they're beautiful. So that's why we go to an expert like you. You also have, is it true, you've got self-watering containers?
Yes, it makes it really easy for the novice gardener. That's the one hardest thing that there is about gardening, is how much do I water? Do I water every day? Do I water every other day? And it all depends upon if your plants are drought tolerant, if they need a lot of water, or what kind of soil they're planted in, how hot it is, how windy it is. You got to know how to water your plants. So we have an above ground garden bed, and this is a self-watering container also. It has a reservoir in the bottom, and you just fill, there's a tube in here, and you just fill the tube. There's an overflow, so the water comes out when you know that it's full. And the roots will go deeper and deeper into the soil, and they will absorb the water as they need it. And if it rains, it's fine too. Our other container is the earth boxes, and there you can plant tomatoes, peppers, lettuces. They have one for root vegetables, for potatoes, carrots, things like that. And this year, Proven Winners and Michael Carr has come out with an aqua pot. And it is also a self-watering container. It has a tube for filling. It has a platform to put the soil in and down in there. And then it's got an overflow, so you never water it too much. And even in the rain, it'll overflow and the water will come out. Your plants absorb the water from the bottom, and there's no guessing.
That is so helpful, especially for beginners, I would think, but even experienced people would probably appreciate that. I'm interested in the raised vegetable gardens, because I've seen more and more people doing that. And I guess I don't understand what the difference is between just a regular vegetable garden, something you put in the ground, versus something that's raised.
When you have a raised garden bed, it's easier to put better soil in to the garden bed. I think it's easier to weed. It's easier to take care of the vegetables. In the ground, you're going to end up with, I think, more weeds coming from underneath. I think in all, it's just easier to contain it. and you don't have, I don't think it's such an overwhelming project for some people.
Yeah, I even think about my mom who just bending over, getting down into a garden isn't really a possibility right now. So if she's got a raised one, she can reach it and still do all the gardening she loves. You know, as people are kind of doing this, I've gone looking for some stuff. It's hard to find certain plants right now. Do you guys have a lot left?
We have an abundance of plants left. We have tomato plants left. We have onions yet. We're out of peppers, but it's too late to start peppers from seed. But we do have a lot of gardening plants, a lot of containers for in the ground. We do have a lot like the butterfly, the pollinators. The bees love a lot of these plants, and as you walk around the garden center, you'll see a lot of the bees on a lot of our plants. We have a beehive in the back that a friend of ours has back there, and we'll see a lot of honeybees over all the plants all day long.
So great. I know that you have natural deer and rabbit repellents. You tell people don't get frustrated if a plant dies, just try again. And I know you're there with your experts ready to help people understand the difference between perennials and annual plants and which ones are right for different parts of the yard. It was wonderful to see all of the great plants and containers you have. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Emily.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Happy gardening.
Absolutely. And everybody's got to head out to FRENZ Garden Center. Here's where you can do that. There's 30% off right now, ceramic containers. She's right on Main Street in Thiensville. The phone number is 262-242-1060. Or you can follow on Facebook at facebook.com/FRENZ with a Z Garden Center. And again, they've got plenty of plants left. I couldn't find tomatoes anywhere, so I got to go out to FRENZ Garden Center to get some new tomatoes. All right.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, sure was.